when you were 6, you did shows. You went door to door to get all the neighbors to come watch.
I would make my own hot dogs with barbecue sauce.
Yes,
and
and
I'd
they were
pass
so
them
good.
around to every neighbor and say, please try my hot dogs. What the hell? That is so weird.
Oh, they loved you.
All right, you guys, it's Katie Austin here.
Yay! And her mom.
Denise Austin. Welcome to today's episode of Austin AF. I am not only interviewing my mom today, but I would more so call you a co-host for today's show.
I love that. I get to ask you some questions.
Please ask me questions.
Okay, guys.
I love to talk on my own show. So even for the solo, for the intro, I want to bring you on. I want to do the show together. And we have some food sitting in front of us because my mom actually brought pumpkin bread and bean dip.
Yes, I brought these two specialties that I make, but I've been making them for years for Katie and Kelly's lacrosse teams. Ever since they were 7 years old, we would be on the road, and this was what I brought the team. Bean dip. Can you believe it?
Bean dip,
bean
you guys.
dip. Everybody loved my bean dip. It's my specialty.
And all it is refried beans, black beans, sour cream, taco seasoning.
Yes, and then a little cheese on top.
And green onions.
Green onions, yes. And it's delicious, but everyone loved it. I would bring it to every single match and game you would have, every weekend, fall ball,
She was
lacrosse
literally
games.
known in my friend group for bringing bean dip. And not only for lacrosse games and tennis matches, but you packed me bean dip for lunch at school growing up 3 times a week.
I know, because it's good for you. Beans are good for you. It's fiber, you guys.
And then I'd be farting in school all day long.
No, you weren't. Okay, also I made you pumpkin bread. This is wonderful because I used to bring this to all the games for everybody after your games. And I'm talking about 12, maybe 15 years
ago,
between
yeah.
you two girls. We're talking every single game. Everyone wanted to know, did you bring the pumpkin bread?
It was
Even
literally
in college.
In college, yeah.
we
It was
brought
either pumpkin bread or bean dip.
Yeah.
And I remember I would either have, the leftovers from matches or lacrosse games of the bean dip and the pumpkin bread for school the next day for lunch. And another thing you packed for me every single day was an avocado.
Yes, avocado.
A straight avocado. Just imagine in a school lunch bag, just a little bean dip, some chips, and an avocado.
Yes, and a little bit of salt.
Salt packet. Every day. And people are like, what the hell is your lunch, Katie? You just have a random avocado sitting there. And I grew up in Virginia where avocados were not very popular.
I just think avocados, I'm from California, are so good for you. They're the healthy fats. They make you feel good. They give you energy. I just love an avocado. I think it's a great way to give yourself a little booster in the day.
I agree.
And of course, I love to add it to chips with guacamole and in our great sandwiches that we make. We love avocado toast.
We actually
in the morning.
introduced our East Coast friends, or all my East Coast friends, to an avocado. They had no idea what it was.
No one in Virginia, until I would start to pack them in your lunches.
It's true.
I would make sure everyone knew about avocados because that's where I'm from, California.
Yes, and you know what else we did on our way back from lacrosse tournaments is we got Krispy Kreme.
Oh, I
every
know.
freaking
And
time
all the
without
girls
fail.
wanted to drive in my car. I was the mom.
My mom would see the light on and she'd be like, "That's it, we gotta stop."
Hey, they worked out.
My mom's like this health nut. She makes like twice baked potatoes for dinner like every night. She's like, "What? It's healthy. A baked potato has as much potassium." And we're like, "Oh my god!"
As a banana.
It's true, but your whole thing was like home cooked meals are healthy.
Yes, and I think, Katie, you love to cook.
Yeah.
So do you think that was a beginning of the cooking that you love to do now?
Absolutely, duh. I saw you cook all the time, and we have different cooking styles, though.
You're much healthier.
So
I've learned from you.
You love to. Everything's a rush. Oh my God, we gotta do the chicken. We gotta do this. Hurry. I like to take 2 hours and I'm like, I'm gonna chop these nice and fine and just sit here and do it slow. You're in a rush. My whole life was a rush. Like literally, you would wake me up we would have to leave for school at 7:05 and you'd wake me up at like 7:02.
Like, here's toast. Here's some eggs.
And you'd say,
in the car.
"Rise and shine and give God your glory, rise and shine." And every morning since I was 2, to 25 probably. When I sleep over at your house. It's like, holy shit.
Well, all the girls used to spend the night. We used to have the house that they would all come over, which I loved because I got to know all of your girls and all your best friends. And so they really were fun because they made me cook more because, I had Friday nights, pasta night, and then the next morning, tons of eggs and pancakes. And I really enjoyed it. So I miss those days. And when I was making the pumpkin bread and the bean dip this morning, it almost made me cry because these were the two things that I made you guys for so many years. Both daughters played since they were 7 years old, every week a game in lacrosse, and they both got not full athletic scholarships, but athletic. Nowadays, you get a partial. What for women is fantastic.
Right.
And go in, my oldest got to go to University of Virginia, and you got to go to USC in Southern California, a dream school when you're little. So that was really cool, all because they worked really hard in lacrosse. And
I agree.
You worked hard as a young girl to really see that teamwork is important. And I think that's why you are successful now, Katie.
I completely agree. I think, coming from very successful parents, both you and dad are very, very, very successful in your fields. And it can either go two ways. You could have daughters who don't work hard or are not ambitious because truthfully, this is just very transparent. I don't have to work as hard as I do.
You love to work.
I love to work.
I love that.
I do.
You're
but
passionate.
I'm saying because you guys are so successful, it can go two ways. You can either have children who don't like to work as much because they know their parents come from money.
I would never let you be spoiled. Oh my gosh, you're entitled.
You guys,
I would. Never.
I didn't. It's actually, I have so much to say. I didn't even realize that, I came from money until I was like 20 years old. I swear to you.
Well, we didn't really have a lot of money when you were little. We built it ourselves, and Dad and I earned every penny. We both
You're
came
not boastful.
From no, of course
at all.
not.
Like you never had anything designer. I don't know. It was just like I never even knew I came from money. I knew I could go to any college. I think that's like a little dinger in my brain. How my friends were a little bit more like, okay, I have to decide, and I was like, oh wait, I can go to any college? Like that was like my first thought that I even had an ounce of money.
See, isn't that good? We did something right.
No, it's true. Like even if you do have money and you're a parent, it's like always kept me and Kelly so humble.
Yes, and I think it helped to live in Alexandria, Virginia too, where everybody was equal. We were all equal. Whoever we were equal, and I love that.
Right.
And it was a great upbringing for both you and Kelly.
Do you think I would have turned out different if you brought me up in LA?
Oh my God, thank God you didn't live in LA.
I needed to grow up in Virginia, you guys.
I was glad to bring you up in a place where everybody was equal. And then here in LA, I just think you're ready for it and you are prepared and you have a good foundation now. And I think it's perfect then. Years ago, when you were young, you wanted to be a Disney star.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember
I sure
that?
did. Oh, of course I remember. I did a Disney audition when I was like 12, got denied, and my mom was like, thank God.
I didn't want her to do any work until she graduated from college.
Yes.
Yes, and she graduated cum laude. So proud of her. Both daughters did in college and high school. So I was very proud. And I think it does stem from sports. So if you're a mom out there, get your kids involved in any youth sports because it could be dance, it could be, whatever, tennis, it could be soccer, whatever they enjoy, get them involved. And that's what's keeping you guys very stable, I think, and very good foundation.
Totally. And, there's that stat there around half of females drop out of sports by puberty, which is like 14, 15 years old for most on average girls.
Right.
Which, I think those are the prime years that sports actually really does help because you're still figuring yourself out so much and you're going through so much stuff in your life with like bullying with guys, figuring out like who you are and what you want to do. And, there's so many things going on. And so having a focus outside of your social life and boys and, anything else that is going on in your life, even family life, having a focus of tough mentality is so key when you're that age.
And when you guys would come home from school, you were at sports. And so I had to rush to get dinner on the table. Yeah. That's why I was always rushing because it was like, 20 minutes, okay.
It's so true. And it also made us focus on like, I think Kelly and I, my sister, were pretty good kids. Like, we never really did any like bad things. You know what I mean? I wish I could sit here and I was like, I was a rebel. I was a goody two shoes little girl.
You were a
and that's
great
because
kid.
that it was like so, sports. And if you did bad in sports or if you did bad in school, it was never about your looks, like whatsoever. It had
Right.
nothing to do with like being a pretty girl in school. It was like, oh no, you want to be the smartest girl in school. You want to be, the most athletic girl. And I think you and Dad did such a great job with that.
Oh, thank you, honey. And now social media is so changing so many young girls.
Totally.
Which that's why I think sports is so important to keep your
Yeah.
girls involved, even if it isn't sports, if it's any activity.
Right.
Really, because that social media nowadays, as you know, it can really get you. And anything negative hurts you. And I do
Yeah.
think with a young, 13, 14-year-old girl, that really can change her life. And I just want them to realize that if they stay active either in school or maybe it could be plays at school, anything that's going to direct them away from that
Yeah.
social media will help, especially those growing years.
Oh, that's such a good point too. And it's so funny because my sister's 3.5 years older than me, right? And so I think she was the last generation to not grow up with social media.
Yeah.
I
You
did.
loved
I
YouTube.
did. I did YouTube in middle school. I had Facebook. I was like, I was that the last kind of, leg
Yes.
of just falling into social media. Do you think there was a really big difference between Kelly and I and my sister that like showed social media versus not social media?
Yes, absolutely. She wasn't involved or interested like you were in YouTube. You would do, songs and dances.
Yep.
You were beginning your foundation when you were a little girl for what you're doing today, Katie.
Absolutely.
Yes. When you were 6, you did shows. You went door to door to get all the neighbors to come watch
You
your
guys,
shows.
let's just
She
pause
would
right there. I
dance.
just want to say, when I was in middle school, I had a dance show, but I was a solo dance show. I made up my own dances and I had my
She
own concert.
choreographed it.
I choreographed everything. I spent hours and hours on snow days. And basically what I would do is I would go around to I did 2 things actually. First, I would go around knocking on a door and invite them to my concert and my show
You had a
at our house.
flyer.
And I literally set up plastic lawn chairs in our house so people would come watch. Number 2, what I did is I would make my own hot dogs with barbecue sauce.
Yes,
And
and
I'd
they were
pass
so
them
good.
around to every neighbor and say, please try my hot dogs. What the hell? That is so weird.
Oh, they loved you.
my
They
God.
came to everything.
I was like, I always
and
say
you
like,
made popcorn for the shows.
yes, I did. And I
And
would
all
always
the
be like,
neighbors still talk to me about this 20 years later, Katie. It's so cute. I just saw them last week, and they remember your dance shows.
oh my God. And I always say like, I was a really insecure girl. And I'm looking back and I'm like, was I? That was pretty confident to just go around by
you
myself
were never
inviting
insecure.
them.
You're shy. You
Yeah.
were more quiet, but you sure could do a show. Then, when she turned 16, she told me she wanted to do a fashion show in our
Oh
backyard.
my God, Mom.
I said, oh, now begins her modeling days.
okay,
She's
so
Sports
now-
Illustrated swimsuit model now. Come on.
I don't know
it
why the
all
hell.
stemmed when you were young.
I don't know why I ever thought I was insecure. I really was, but I guess I was confident on the outside. When I was 16, for my Sweet 16, I had a fashion show and I invited 5 girls. This is really bitchy, honestly. I actually
was so
didn't. I didn't
cute.
realize it was bitchy. I didn't want it to be.
it was not
I chose
bitchy.
like 5 girls who I thought would want to walk in a catwalk for
Yes.
my birthday, and I ordered these dresses from Australia. And I had like the pre-glam show. I hired a photographer. We did a photo shoot afterwards. I had my entire class. I swear to God, this is a true story. My entire class of when I was 16, what am I, sophomore, junior in college, come over to sit and watch me walk down a runway. 16. That's really old for doing that.
But we had fun music. We had lounge chairs with
there's
purple
no excuse for
lights.
that. That is so weird. And my mom was like, yes, honey, this is amazing. Work it. Like,
I loved it.
we had invitations made, and the invitation was me in a hot red dress blowing a kiss.
But isn't this beautiful that you are
I
now?
swear to God.
You're living your passions. These were your passions. Cooking. You're now cooking.
It's so funny. My dad
Walking the-
and mom, you guys always say like, thank God you're using what you love to do as a career now. You know?
know.
Like, it's so funny that this is my career now, is like what I was like when I was like 13 to 16.
So you were being primed. Your foundation. This was your master class.
my
All
God.
these little things you were doing.
Oh my God.
Can you see it now? I sure can.
Well, it's funny you say that because I would like to talk to you about that now, about your celebration of 40 years in the
my
fitness
gosh.
industry, you guys.
40 years.
40, and she's still still has never had work
I feel
done.
like I am 40.
Like literally has never had work done. I think that's so crazy.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We're going to work on the Botox the next 10 years here. But 40 years,
done that yet.
40 years in the fitness industry, and you just said to me, you looked back. Yeah, we got cupcakes made 40 years on
you
it.
guys. Thank you all.
You
So
said you
sweet.
look back and now it all making sense. Do you have those moments in your 40 years of your fitness career where you look back and you're like, wow, it all makes sense. It's all came together.
Oh, yes, I do, because I was a gymnast when I was little. So that was my foundation as a gymnast, to go to college, get my degree in exercise physiology, and then start aerobics right when it was just starting. I had already had routines because, I did floor exercise. So I was able to get some great little music in my little, audio cassette player and take it everywhere and teach people aerobics. And I just want to make people happy and smile, and that really was my goal. And then it got bigger and I got on the Jack LaLanne show, and then I got my own show, then the Today Show. So it just kept growing. I really never had like a 5-year plan, but I believed in myself, and I always wanted to, infuse this energy with people, with the passion of fitness, and go into different avenues. Even now on Instagram, you got me on Instagram.
I think it's really important that you say you didn't have a 5-year plan, because I think so many of us, no matter what career you're in, think of a 5-year plan. Okay, this is what I want to do next. This is I have to do this by 25, this by 35. And it's so important not to stick to a 5-year plan, because the world can change.
Yes, I mean, look what happened. I went from VHS to DVD to the internet now.
To the internet, the World Wide Web.
YouTube. On the line.
On the line.
My favorite show.
So that's why it's so important. You just go, and you know that you believe in yourself. You know you're going to be successful. But, if that plan staggers just a little bit, you have to kind of keep updating yourself, evolving, going with the flow and progressing and learning from each and every step you take.
Absolutely. And having you in the business with me has, really broadened my vision for that, because you gave me the chance to understand a little more about YouTube. And even when you were young, you were already filming yourself doing things with your friends. So you were priming yourself for what you're doing today. So I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Are you happy that your career was really based not on social media? What do you think you would be like if you had social media when you were 25 or 30?
Well, maybe I could have reached more people, but I was on TV, and back in the day, that was everything.
Yes.
Being on TV.
The Today Show, you guys. She was on the Today Show. That back then was the end-all, be-all.
Yeah, for me it was, because no one had done fitness on the Today Show before. In 1984, that was my first appearance. And then I did that regularly every single month. Went from Washington, D.C. to New York to do my 4-minute segment. And now you don't have to do any of that. You just Zoom it and you're on.
Virtually.
But and that's wonderful too to me. But when I was young, it was so fun to go to New York all the time.
But you didn't get any hate comments. Sorry, I'm literally eating the bean dip right now.
Bringing back to her
Feeling
childhood.
very nostalgic whilst I eat it. You didn't get any hate comments. You didn't deal with...
I got letters, but they were...
They're always nice.
Nice, but some were men, and they were sexual and scary.
Of course they were.
Yeah,
I still get
I was
that
on ESPN.
Yeah.
A male network.
But at the same time, I get that 4 times a day from a group of men in DM.
Sorry
And
you do. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I really am over it. Honestly, it's been so many years now. But for you, is it so different now being able to talk to your fans? And do you see hate comments ever?
I don't really.
You really don't get hate comments.
I really don't.
You guys, my mom actually only has loving comments.
Well, a lot of people have been with me for a long time. They've been fans of mine since I started, almost 40 years ago. It is 40 years this month.
It's
that
wild.
I have been in the fitness business, which is incredible. But honestly, I have loved and everything I do, just like you. We're passionate about what we do. We don't feel like it's work. It's just a wonderful way to express what we do, but to make people happy. And when you're feeling good about yourself, you do feel happier, and then you're healthier, and that's the key.
I completely agree. And actually going off that, not to kind of put words in your mouth, and I'd love you to expand on this a little bit, but I feel like because you love your job so much and helping others. That's why you've done it for 40 years. You know, a lot of people like are dying to retire. Like, I'm going to retire at 50. Like, I can't wait and like see that finish line for work and your career. But you have such longevity.
Thank you.
With your career. So how do you keep going and stay motivated in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s?
I think as I went through different phases of my life with other people, like pregnancy.
Yes.
So I did a pregnancy workout video. As I went now through menopause, now I have a magazine called Fit Over 50. So I have kind of lived with my people through these different
Stages
decades.
of your life, yeah.
Decades. Every decade has been different. And the 30s are great. I'm very excited for you to be in your 30s because you feel good, you're credible, and you know where you want to be. And then when you're ready, you start to have kids, and then you're ready for that. And there's a time and place. Everybody has their own right time to
I love that.
live and to do their career or their children or whatever it is.
Yeah, you're really the first influencer, by the way. Like going throughout all the stages of life and showing the world like your life.
Yes,
And my mom had her own show for 30 minutes before her workout show that kind of like went into our home life a little bit as well, and like what you do in the morning and like your snack and your bath routine. So really, literally, like the first YouTuber or influencer. You got your own brand deals and everything like that, which was so cool.
Yeah, my own sponsors of my TV show.
Yeah,
it was a lot of marketing, like you do too on Instagram, but it was for billboards on TV.
Yeah, same type of things, but just like different ways to do it. And you just said that you're excited for me to be in my 30s. I just turned 28, everybody. And I will say, I think every single year gets less and less lost. And more of who I know
20s are hard. So if you're in your
really
20s,
hard.
You are not alone. This happens to all of us, even myself. You will learn from them, and you'll feel better.
You definitely became successful in your 30s.
Oh yes, definitely, yeah. I was just building like you are. I mean, you're very successful already, but you're still building, Katie.
I feel like I'm just getting started. Truly, I do. And how old were you when you had Kelly, my sister?
33. I got pregnant when I was 33. What? I got pregnant.
No freaking way. What? No chance.
Yes. What?
You're
what do you mean?
64
I'm 64 right now, and she just turned 31. So maybe my math is off. But
is it off? I have no idea. I always thought you had me when when you were 37.
I did. I had you at 37.
Okay, so that's the note that I'm trying to say here. She had me at 37.
Yes.
I think that back then, that was late.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, 28 years ago.
Nowadays, that's very, very like average and normal.
Yes.
But like back then, that's so cool to be like, you waited so long. You knew
7 years, Dad and I were married.
Right.
And I knew my time would come. And it did. And it happened at the right time. So for all of you girls out there, your time will come when you're ready. And, you're never ready. But you know what I mean? Your time will come when it's your time. So
right. And there's no
I believe that too.
Pressure of like, oh my gosh, all your friends are having babies like 5 years before you
10
do.
of my best friends were all pregnant at the same time. I was the last of the 10. With Susan Shaw with Armour and with Margaret, and all my friends. There are 10 of us, and I was the very last one of the 10.
Did you ever feel any social pressures to get pregnant sooner or to not focus on your career as much?
No, and my mom never bugged me. My sisters never. They all just were happy where I was.
Wow, that's so interesting because we always talk about society pressures these days, and like if you're 37 and you haven't had a kid yet, it's like, what are you doing? But it's like you're just focusing on your own path, and everyone, and you're like you're happy.
And my mom, you would think, her having 5 kids, we're from a big family. She never said, "Oh, it's time now, honey." She never said that.
Yeah.
When I was pregnant, she was so happy. She never said anything. She was so happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you face any negativity also when you were like so successful in your career and traveling so much for your show that like, hey, you have 2 kids, what are you doing?
No, because I took you guys along with me.
Yeah, and skip school all the time.
So, you were little. You could skip school, you guys, when you're in 1st and 2nd grade.
I would skip 2 weeks.
We'd read, and if Dad was on the road with me, he would make you read. And then my mom was easygoing. She would let you play wherever you wanted. But you had homework. You still had stuff to
I
do.
just feel like these days people judge moms so much because everything showed online.
I never listened. I was so happy with with what
You're
I was
actually
doing.
really lucky because like you didn't have to post like if you posted like out to dinner tonight. I know some mom bloggers who do that and they're like, where are your kids? Didn't you just have a kid like 2 weeks ago or something? You know, and like they get so much hate
That's
online,
sad. I
but you
know.
didn't get any
No,
of that. You
it
didn't
wasn't.
experience
There
that.
was no such thing.
Interesting.
Yes. Oh, I would get letters, real in the mail letters, but all nice because they were so happy I had a baby, and
Right.
when I had you,
Right.
and they were always so happy, like, oh, I love your Katie and Kelly. They all like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you did have
Dave.
some crazy fan letters. I remember some crazy fan
I've
letters.
had a lot of different funny things.
I would like to, I just thought of this morning. I was trying to think of like a funny story that you've told me. But you did have one phone call back in the day
Oh, yes.
from a very special someone.
Oh,
Can you tell
my
the story?
gosh.
Are you allowed?
Okay, so I'm happily married, 2 kids. We live in Washington,
By the way, has this
D.C.
story ever been told to the public?
No,
No,
I've
this
never.
is a Denise Austin exclusive. She's nervous.
I am, because it's about a president of the United States of America.
I'm just taking my bean dip bite.
Maybe a couple. Okay, so I was out to this dinner thing in Washington, D.C., and up on the stage comes Bill Clinton. Nothing happened with Monica Lewinsky at this point. So no one knew anything. I didn't know anything. He was our president. He came and said a few words on stage, and I was sitting in the front row with, it was Sons of Italy. It was with Mario Andretti, my favorite race car driver, sitting there. And he, the next day, called up he was out golfing. This is the story. And he was playing golf. And the Secret Service guy, he told the Secret Service guy he, met just for 1 second Denise Austin last night. And the Secret Service said, oh, my God, I know Denise Austin. I grew up with her. I went to high school with her. Bill Clinton said, can you get a hold of her? And he said, well, oh, yes, President, of course I can. He called my father, because my dad was still in the phone book, and called my father and said, do you mind if Denise, gives the president a call or something like that? And my dad goes, oh, I don't know, told the Secret Service guy, who my dad really loves. I'm sorry, I have no idea if Denise has any interest in this, but I'll call her. And when my dad called me, I was, what? That's really weird. What does he want? Like a phone call, or you call the White House? And I didn't do anything about it. I said, no, thank you. I'm sorry. That's just not what I do or who I am. And then within 2 months, the Monica Lewinsky stuff
All came out.
All came out. So I was like, oh, wow. That was really
a close
scary.
call. I just can't imagine the president of the United States calling dad.
Well, no, he didn't.
But his Secret Service
He got his Secret Service guy to
Still.
call Dad
Still.
to track me down. I don't know if he knew. There was no internet, so he probably didn't know if I was married or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that.
Oh, yeah,
but
maybe-
later I saw him at different games, at basketball games, and he'd wave and I'd wave.
Oh my God.
I'd be with Dad, of course.
And
watching
that's the coolest part about Dad, by the way. He's the most confident and secure
Oh,
guy
yeah,
in the
he's
whole world. He
fine.
probably thinks it's just hilarious that happened.
Yeah. And so that's the story. But so I respect him, though. I like him as a speaker and as a person. So, I mean, take away all that weirdness. He's very bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
interesting. Going off that, I have a question. Would you be okay with me dating like a 50-year-old man? What
Oh,
a
hell
weird
no.
question. No.
Oh, no. That would not be safe for
My
you.
sister and I were talking about it the other day. Like Kelly and I were in the car driving
Oh, my
somewhere together, and we're like, "Do you think Mom and Dad? What if we like brought home like a 50-year-old guy?"
That would be so,
So weird, right?
Off,
What
just
if we
off.
brought home someone your exact same age?
Oh! I'm just being honest, honey.
No, I know.
I love your boyfriend now, and I love Kelly.
Yes, we took, a few different paths to get to the right one that
That's
I'm with
okay.
right now. And I think, that goes for a career, and you always say, like, dating is like homework. It's like your favorite
You
quote.
learn what you enjoy.
Exactly. And, it took a little bit of finding myself out to find the right guy. And, like, I would never listen to you, no offense, if you didn't like my boyfriend. I just wouldn't. I would just be like, oh, well, he's my boyfriend.
You were
so
a little rebel. See? You were.
I
in
guess
some ways.
so. I mean, not in terms of like partying or doing anything like that, but in those types of terms of like
but you were young.
boyfriends. Yeah. And I had to figure that out for myself.
And your daughters do come around, you guys. So,
Yes.
After 16,
You know,
17.
16 and 17 are probably the hardest years.
Those are the hardest years, yeah.
How did you deal with my bratty ass self?
Oh, I knew you'd come through. You're a good heart. You're a good soul.
You guys, I was really bratty.
No,
like in a way that was just like
good soul.
I think I was really bratty because, and this is probably relates to a lot of other girls out there, but you're so unhappy with yourself because you're so lost. You know what I mean? Like I was projecting my insecurities and projecting like, I don't know, just a lot of, unhappiness.
And I didn't realize that.
That's so funny you said 16, 17. I think my worst years were like 13, 14.
Well, yeah, a lot of girls have those years too.
Because that's when I feel like I was most bratty because that's where like I had so much hate on me and like bullying me and stuff in school. And so
middle school was rough for a lot of girls. So, once you got to high school, you're in
But how'd you actually deal with it? You said I came through, but like literally how'd you deal with me?
I would just say, she's having a bad day today. She'll get better. And I would also try to make you feel better about what you're going through. Like, oh, don't worry, that girl didn't mean it.
Okay, yeah, you did that.
I turned it to the positive side.
And that's why I had a really hard time opening up to you and telling you things because you would just be like, oh, that girl didn't mean it. And I'm like, no, she did. Tell me she's a bitch. Fucking say to me, yeah, I know that girl's a bitch. And like you would just see the positive side in it so many times.
Yeah, well, that's how you get through the mean girls.
You just kill them with kindness.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now I have this like kind of ish game.
Oh, okay. I love games.
See.
I love games.
I just want to put you in a scenario of 2021 because I think you would be hilarious if we switched places. Like I think if you like didn't understand like social cues and stuff of 2021, like dating and relationships and social media.
No, I wouldn't get it at all. Thank God I'm happily married with your daddy for 38 years.
38 years, you guys. Okay, so 2021 scenario here. You're dating a guy. Put yourself in the shoes.
Okay.
You're dating a guy. He cancels on your third date because he has a family obligation. But later that night, you see him on a friend's Instagram story and he's out at the bar. What do? Do you call him or ignore him?
Oh, God, that'd be hard. I love to let people tell me why. I want to hear why, but then I don't want to.
You would be so bad with not having closure then, Mother.
No, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do anything and never see him again.
Okay.
There's other people out there that are going to be nicer.
I should probably stop eating this. Okay.
Maybe.
But after the third date and you really like him.
Oh, that's harder.
That's hard?
Yeah, that would be hard.
Would you text him?
I don't know.
She actually really doesn't know because you're really not good with
No, I don't know if I would
anything.
text him or not. I don't want to ever feel like I'm after somebody. Ugh.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I still have a little feeling like a man should still kind of
pursue you
a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. You see a guy at a bar and you match with him on a dating app.
You look at it right then and there?
No. Like you guys were talking on a dating app for like a few weeks, but you never met him
in person.
And you see him in person. Would you go up to him or would you just be like pretend you don't know and wait for him to come up to you?
Oh, I'd go to him.
Okay,
that for sure I would.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. What do you got to lose? And because you want to hear him talk. I think
true.
to hear someone talk
is huge.
Is very important. See if they're funny, see if they have laughter and humor in them, see if they have a heart.
So would you be on a dating app?
Yes, I think I would.
You would?
Just to try.
So, funny story, you're the reason I met my boyfriend now.
Yes.
Technically. I mean, like, in terms of if we're, getting technical here. So, meaning, you were on a walk with someone.
I saw my girlfriend, Lori, and she said, guess who's Grant's dating her son? Someone who's good friends with Katie. And I said, oh my God, how did they meet? Because one went to Stanford, one went to USC.
Also, COVID times, how did they meet?
Yes, how'd they meet? She goes, oh, Denise, it's called The League. And tell Katie she will love the different people on there because they're all somebody like she might know. Stanford people, USC, all the group.
Okay, like finance, lawyers, like very smart guys.
And not
too.
like...
not like famous boys.
No, not famous or spoiled. More real, like
Right.
educated.
Yeah.
And so I came home and the next time I saw you, I told you, and you were like, "Oh, Mom, come on."
I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to get on a dating app like that.
I said, "Well, this one sounds really nice. The League. I never heard of it before."
I hadn't
Of course,
either,
I've
by the
heard
way.
of Mariah and Bumble and
Ooh, Mom knows.
what's the other one?
Tinder, Hinge.
whatever. And so I'd never heard of League, so I thought maybe this was all the USC people or the Stanford. And then you went on for a sec, right? Or
I think like 2 days, literally.
yeah. And
Literally.
Lane found you there
Yeah.
and called another girl who's from USC. And that girl said, "Oh, Lane, you don't have a chance. She only dates athletes."
This is true. This is true, Riley.
Isn't
You're
that
listening
funny?
to this. Yeah.
And so then
And it worked out.
he kept trying.
Yeah,
So
he did.
got-
I
see,
did bail on him
he-
the first time, too.
Yeah, he pursued you. So
He
I
did.
like that.
Yeah.
You know?
You also loved a different guy that I dated once, only because he brought a very expensive bottle of wine.
Oh, that's the only reason. Come on. No, I mean, I
She
could
still
go
to this
buy
day
an
will talk
expensive-
about that.
No, I just liked his taste.
Of wine. She
Yes.
no. You guys, she
Not
never met him. She never
No,
met him.
no.
But she only liked me dating him because he had expensive taste in wine.
I just thought he had good taste. That's all.
That is a true story as well. Okay, last question about the 2021 dating scenarios. You really like this guy. All of a sudden, he ghosts you. First off, do you know what ghosting
Yes,
is?
like doesn't call you anymore, and all of a sudden you don't know
You're hip.
why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you text him or call him or just leave it
That
be?
I would if we were out for a while, like we
Yeah.
got along really good. I would say, "What's going on?"
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Why
all.
not? And then
Yeah.
and then what happens if he doesn't reply?
That's it.
Yeah.
No more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no
Would you ever feel bad about yourself if he doesn't reply?
Yeah, absolutely not. There's so many men in the world.
Ooh, you heard it here first.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Woo.
All right, we have mood boosting mantra segment coming up now, and I think you already said this, you guys. My mom was episode 1 of Austin AF, but if you had one mantra that you live by to get you through 40 years in the fitness industry, what would it be?
Oh, be myself, enjoy life, and let people know that you can do it, that they can do it, and also good posture. Good posture plays a key role in how you feel, and it keeps your tummy flat, tucked in, and it gives you the chance to breathe deeper so you have more energy.
All right, as people are listening right now, what can they do for better posture?
Okay, pull your tummy in, stand up or sit up nice and tall, lengthen through the spine. So you're really getting length through the spine, taking deep breaths and exhale and tighten up your abs.
And if you tighten your tummy for 5 seconds and release it for 1, that is equal to?
One sit up. So you could be on the road, you can be talking to
work
us right
desk.
now, listening to us, doing a tummy tightener.
Woo, woo. All right, where can they find you,
And
Mama?
let's do it on your rear end now. Tighten your tushy, squeeze the buttocks, because if you don't
like
squeeze it, no one else will.
I feel like I'm holding in a poop.
But you have a good looking butt. It's worked all those years for you.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Where can they find you?
Oh, DeniseAustin.com is
Okay.
my website. If anyone who's over 50, you have moms that want to work out with me, I've got over 300 workouts.
Let's go.
And then I have a magazine that's out in all the stores called Fit Over 50. So everybody, it's 100 pages of information to help us live a better life as we age.
Which I think is so important because sometimes like the fitness industry is made for people who are, under 50 or even 40.
Yes.
The marketing. And so you guys, like my mom has literally like grown up with your moms throughout the years and like switched your types of fitness as
Yes.
well.
And I love the generational things that
Yeah.
we do together with mom and daughters. It's so
Yeah,
much fun.
it is.
And I'm so proud of you, Katie.
Thanks.
Where can they find you?
At Katie Austin, at Austin AF. Follow us on Instagram for some more content at Austin AF too. Follow us on YouTube, so subscribe to us. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you find podcasts. And DeniseAustin.com, KatieAustin.tv, and I think that's all about
Yay!
it.
We love you guys. Stay healthy, stay fit. You can do it.
Because you are
Are
worth
worth it.